Many a Page, an Oklahoma Library for the Blind and Physically Handicapped podcast, sponsored by Oklahomans for Special Library Services. Find them at https://oklahoma.gov/olbph/library-friends.html or on Facebook at Oklahomans for Special Library Services. This podcast is produced in the studios of the Oklahoma Library for the Blind and Physically Handicapped. Any music used in this podcast is an original composition created by our studio's very own Scott C. OLB and DRS do not endorse any product or service referred to by this podcast. All commentary on this podcast reflects the opinions of the guests and host and are not necessarily the opinions held by OLBPH or DRS. OLBPH and DRS make no claim to the accuracy of statements made in this podcast. Many a Page, Season 1, Episode 2.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Many a Page, a book club podcast. I am one of your hosts, Erin Byrne, and with me, as always, are my other hosts, Matt Thurber, our PIO.
Hey, guys.
Kat Jensen, our studio head.
Hello.
We've got Kat running the tables. And wiki. And I would first of all like to thank everybody who listened to our first episode and is hanging around for the second one. So, before we get to the main event, I'm going to ask Matt to fill us in on some things that are going on within the Department of Rehabilitation Services, our parent agency.
Well, there are a lot of things going on right now, and it's a busy summer. We're going to be all over the place, all over the state. We have an upcoming special education conference at the end of the month. We have a special ADA event at the Capitol on July 20th. And for more information, check out our Facebook page.
Cool. We had a few more updates as
Yes.
well. As far as summer reading wrap-up is August 15th. If you have completed summer reading, adult or student, please RSVP if you would like to attend the summer wrap-up party at the Sam Noble Museum August 15th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Admission and lunch will be provided courtesy of OSLS. Prizes will be drawn at the wrap-up party, and winners not in attendance will be contacted via email. We also, OSB has Western Heritage Day coming up in September. October is Disability Employee Awareness Month. October 15th will be White Cane Awareness Day. And then DRS has named Sterling Zierle as the agency's interim executive director.
Well, our guest today is Nate Gunter from Oklahoma Today magazine, and we will be discussing Risk by Dick Francis. But before we get to that, I want to ask Matt and Kat, what have you guys been reading lately?
I just finished The Light Eaters, actually, which was a recommendation via Nate.
Yes.
And I actually really liked it. I will say towards the end where she's really trying to prove her point over and over again, I was like, I've got you, girl. Like we could have cut this out an hour or two before this. And
What
I'm
is the
totally
author's
with you.
name?
So Zoe Schlanger
Okay.
is the author of that. And if you ever wondered about how treatment of plants, you will definitely question that after reading this book. I know far too much about tannins now and how plants can adjust their tannins if they're being attacked.
Well, they must be tanned up in my yard because I cannot keep a thing alive, even a succulent.
I was actually really proud of myself because I do keep everything in like clay pots and I grow orchids and they're in the clay pots with holes in them and stuff. So reading this book, I was like, okay, I do try to take
You're like,
care
good
of
job,
them well.
me.
Good job, me. I really do try.
Okay, Matt, what are you reading lately?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm reading A Screaming Life, Into the Super Unknown and with Soundgarden Beyond by Kim Thale.
Cool.
And for those who don't know, Kim Thale was the guitarist for a band called Soundgarden, who was big in the 80s, 90s, and beyond. And it's an in-depth look at the band's origins in Seattle, and it only came out last month, and I'm loving it so far.
Excellent.
It's a real page turner.
That's cool. I'm glad to hear that. I'm not sure that we have that in the collection. So,
Not
but
yet, but hopefully.
hopefully soon. If it just came out last month, then it takes us a while to get some into the
Yeah,
collection.
the Light Eater is,
Is
the Light
in
Eaters are in the collection.
our
Yes, you
collection.
can listen to it on Bard.
I read so much trash that I had to force myself to read a nutritious book. And since we're reading Risk by Dick Francis, it's a mystery. I'm not normally a mystery reader. And so I had to think back to a mystery that I read that I really enjoyed. And it is a book for children. And it's The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. Have you read it?
Literally, like when I young, like long time ago.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Forever
Have
ago.
you
Forever,
read it?
forever,
No, I
forever.
It was published in 1978. And this book, it's a puzzle, it's a mystery. It is one of my all-time favorites, and it holds up really, really well. So I
Because
love
it had
it.
that same energy as the Boxcar Kids. A
Yes,
little bit.
I
Like that surviving on your own at way too
Yeah,
young
I
an
agree.
age,
I
you know,
Right,
kind
I
of
don't
exactly.
remember it off the top of my head,
Yeah.
but as you're describing it, I'm like, oh
That
yeah, I read that
intense
one. We all read that
self-reliance.
one. Yeah.
So, Nate, welcome our guest.
Thank
What are
you.
you reading right now?
I am reading. I just started. I have to pull it up because it's. I literally just started it, but I posted it on my Instagram, so it's easy to pull up. It's a book by Ted Conover. It's called "The Roots of Man: Travels in the Paved World," and it's just travel essays.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was recommended to me. I'm working on an essay collection right now, and I had a sort of a consultation Zoom call with an author, and she recommended Ted Conover to me as an author, so I'm reading him and enjoying him so far.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you, what kind of books did you read when you were young? You're a.
I was a voracious
yes,
kid reader.
That's why you're.
I was. I mean, like
That's
I
why
was
we
the
invited
kid
you.
who like looked forward to when recess would be rained out. You know what I
Me
mean? Like
too.
those were my
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
days. You
I
know what
also
I'm saying?
love
Beanbag
standardized-
in the corner with the book, man.
Oh my
I
gosh,
also
the
love standardized
best.
testing
Yeah.
because I'm like, I'm gonna blow through this, read my book.
Totally. No, you just like race through it and then you have
Uh-huh.
the rest of the day. Or like anytime there was a VCR on,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got my book here.
I got
don't
my
need-
book
Yeah,
here.
totally.
Yeah.
So I think probably like, and my parents read to me. They, you know, my dad's a college professor. My mom has her first degree was in education. They're very serious people about education. So I got really lucky in that regard that I was read to at an early age, and I started reading at an early age. The first books that I remember really becoming genuinely obsessed with were the Wizard of Oz books.
Uh-huh.
I think I was in the 3rd grade when the Wizard of Oz the movie turned 50, and so there was a lot of Wizard of Oz-ness going
Right.
on around then, and so I just read the books. Like I read The Wizard of Oz, and I just loved it so much that I read that whole series, and then somehow that led me into reading the entire Narnia series and the
Yeah.
entire.
Yeah.
It's a gateway series.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I went from there to The
Parallels,
Hobbit,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, I have an older sister who loves genre fiction. She loves sci-fi and fantasy specifically. And every birthday as a kid, she would send me a, you know, like the boxes that printer paper comes in,
Uh-huh.
those big ones. One of those full of like her paperbacks that she'd gotten through.
Nice.
So I had like the Star Trek books, like those, and like these old fantasy novels.
Piers Anthony books.
Piers Anthony had a ton of Piers Anthony. Had like those original novels written off of role playing games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that were before like Dungeons and Dragons was a thing, stuff like that. I mean, like it was crazy. Like the next time you're at my house, I'll show you. I've got one on my back porch called the Blue Sword because I love it because the cover is beautiful.
Lovely.
Yeah. So that was the kind of stuff, and then. At some point, I got really obsessed. I loved Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. I loved mysteries. I know that Nancy Drew was first, and I only went to the Hardy Boys because I ran out of Nancy
You
Drew.
ran out of Nancy Drew. See what these guys are doing.
Yeah, but then I enjoyed them too, so it was fine. But yeah, so that was those were the first things that I really remember getting really super into.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, tell us why you chose Risk by Dick Francis.
Can I tell a little bit of the story about how hard it was for me to choose a book for this?
Please
Of
do.
course.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because I think that's important and why I chose this. But I chose this book, one, because I'll just say, I actually do like it as a mystery. I think it's an entertaining read. I read it in grad school as sort of a great example of a mystery novel and a genre, you know, the genre formula,
Yeah.
so to speak. And so that was a big part of the reason why I picked it. But I couldn't, you guys know it took me forever to find something because all the books that formed me, I mean, I guess I could have picked The Wizard of Oz, but like that just seemed a little basic. But you know, it was
Hopefully
like,
we've all read that. Too.
well, yeah.
I have not.
It's good. It's
if you've
actually really
seen
good.
the movie, it's actually more interesting to
I-
read
I
the book.
do
'cause
know
there's-
I feel like
is-
if you've seen Return to Oz,
Yeah.
that's more
Yeah.
what the books feel like.
I know
They're
things
very
get
creepy.
weird.
Yeah,
They're
they're
very
definitely
creepy. Yeah.
different than
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
cutesy,
Because
Dorothy
really,
movie.
even the cutesy stories, very weird.
Yeah, and see, and I was the kid. I liked Return to Oz more than I liked The Wizard of Oz.
Uh-huh.
Like that was my like
Oh, my-
Fairuza Balk in that movie. Anyway,
I know my brother was obsessed with that movie too. I don't
so
know how many
good.
times I watched
so
it.
scary. I love it.
Yeah.
But like all the books, it was like, oh, what books formed you, and it's like, oh, well, none of those are good for a podcast produced by a state agency. I mean, not that I'm reading like filth, but
Right.
like there's just themes and the stuff that really made who I am that, that's probably not fun to talk about on a podcast. So I was thinking about, myself as a writer and, the various writing dreams that I've had and pursued over the years. And I went to OU. I got my master's in professional writing, which is a really interesting program that is sort of like an MFA for mass market paper for the mass market audience.
Well, that's neat.
Is sort of how I describe it. And so you take classes like writing the novel, and you learn how to write a very formulaic. And the professor I took that from, she's great. Her name was Deborah Chester. She's a romance novelist, fantasy novelist, and she knew that formula cold.
Yeah.
And she was very able to teach it very well. And then you took things like the nonfiction book, which wasn't even necessarily writing a manuscript, but writing a pitch for a manuscript. You know what I'm saying? And so you're learning how to sell things in addition to how to write them.
Yeah.
Which MFAs don't have a lot of that.
Right. They're too busy with the craft.
Right, which is great, which has worth. But like, and there's worth to that. But like I don't know, there's something about learning it this way that has been really special and really interesting for me and really propulsive in the sense that like it gave me something to work off of. You know what I mean? Like literary theory, I love reading about it, but it is confounding when I try to put it into practice as a writer.
Bring it back around to risk.
Oh, sure. Sorry. So I wanted to learn how to do that, and so I think Risk was one of the books that we read in that program that really, 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 I think exemplified what mass market can do in terms of holding a reader and just being a great time.
Yeah.
It's a great read. It's a fun read.
I understand.
Yeah.
So
Lightning by Dean Koontz was another one. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm glad that you mentioned the formula for genre fiction.
Yeah.
Because according to the internet, and this is how we're going to talk about this, a good mystery, we have a list of 10 things that a good mystery
I love this.
should contain. So we're going to go through these and talk about the book as they come up.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Number 1 is a strong hook.
I mean, British jockey gets kidnapped in first 10 pages.
Yeah.
Is a pretty strong hook.
Waking up on a boat.
Waking up on a boat after you just won the Grand National.
After you just won the Grand National is
And I think it's cool too. Just put out there, like all of Dick Francis's books take place in the steeplechase world in Britain. He actually at one point was the Queen Mother's jockey.
Yep.
Dick Francis rode the Queen Mother's horses for her.
Yes.
Yeah, the Queen Mother Elizabeth. So anyway,
this
so he knows what he's talking about.
book,
Yeah.
I frankly, we might get to it later. I'm bringing it right up top because whenever I know that Dick Francis, whenever I was in, it was the summer between college and grad school. I worked at a bookstore. I got a call. No, it wasn't me that got the call. My colleague answered the phone and was like, "Okay, all right, Dick Francis, let me go check." And so he puts the phone down and he goes to the shelf, comes back and goes, "Well, sir, all of his books are about horse racing."
He wanted the one about the horse racing.
He wanted the one about the horse racing. And he's like, "Well, you've
That's
got about
amazing.
40 choices."
Oh, I love that so much.
So, but yes, Matt?
They say write about what you know.
That's
and
right,
That's
yeah.
all he knows.
Well, and one of the things I found different is this is definitely a different world than we're used to.
Yeah.
I mean, you said, you see it and you're like, okay, horse racing. I thought, we're going out to Remington and we're riding in a circle. And so I actually did some research on steeplechasing and what it is. I keep telling Aaron, I find it hilarious that it started in Ireland because, me being Irish Scottish, I'm like, they just it was late night. And they were just like, "Hey, John, I bet your horse can't jump over
I'm
this."
just going to put it out there that rednecks have always existed.
They really have.
Okay.
It's like, we're going to run
over the
from
world.
steeple to steeple,
Yep.
and you got to jump over everything in the middle.
Wait.
That hedgerow is really tall, and there's a pond right behind it. It's like, gotta
It's
go.
cool though. Have you
Gotta
ever
go.
watched it? It's cool to
It
watch.
is really cool, but
Yeah.
if you think of the history, and I'm sorry, I could say this being Irish
Yeah, but
Scottish,
it's not the Kentucky Derby.
is that you just literally think about these guys, back then being like, hey, McGinnis, let's see.
O'Leary, let's see what you can do.
Exactly. Yeah. All the best things in history.
However, I
absolutely.
really expected much more horse racing in this book and less accounting. And we're gonna get to the accounting, my dear.
Okay, because I'll say the other thing I love about this book is it has, I think, one of the funniest solutions to a mystery I've ever read.
We will get to that.
Okay.
You don't even know, as Erin and I are reading this book together, we both stuck our heads out of our offices at one point, and she's like, "The accounting," and I'm like, Oh. so much
Okay.
accounting.
Pause. Before we continue any further, I should have put a disclaimer at the top of the show. Anybody listening, we're going to spoil this book.
Yeah,
You will find out
absolutely.
Yeah.
what happens in this mystery. Who done it?
Bookmark this and come back.
How many done it?
Yeah.
Was anything done?
That's
Which
why
is also a good question at the end of
Right.
this book. This is not Murder on the Orient Express.
No, it's really not. It's a
from.
murder mystery with no murders.
and if you listen to the first podcast, we warned you that we were going to talk about
Right.
this
He's
book
not
in
even
the
that
second
mad he
one.
got
Yeah.
kidnapped.
Yeah.
He's not that mad that he got
that
kidnapped.
drove me crazy. I was like, he just was like,
Twice.
okay, I know.
Well, nobody really noticed. Like the police don't even care.
Right.
They're just like,
Yeah.
he tries to take his problems to the police, and they're like, eh.
Nah.
But
It's
based on
very
his character,
British.
it's like,
Yes, that's true.
he's not that.
Okay, well, okay.
not-
But
okay.
We're gonna get to that
It's
because we
very
have
British
lots,
in this
lots.
Okay,
to,
okay.
We
Yeah.
have so
There's many layers. To
there are
unwrap
many layers,
here.
and I
Let's
have
peel 'em
many
back.
steps in the good mystery should contain the following. So a strong hook.
I want to do this for every book I ever read.
Okay.
Um,
A strong hook. So we think of waking up on a boat, strong hook.
Mhm.
So good job. Maybe we should keep a score.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Keep
I think
score.
we'll
Yeah,
add
let's keep
it
a
up.
tally.
So here we
Yeah,
go.
okay.
Number one, question one, strong hook. Yes.
Yeah, it's not every day a jockey gets shanghaied.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Very
Right.
rare.
Very
He just wins a race and suddenly he's on a boat.
He's
So,
on a
yeah.
boat, and there's
Mhm.
so. I mean, like he kept talking about eating the cheese, and I just imagine like commodity cheese, like
Yeah.
my grandparents
I was picturing
had.
Of course,
government
that was
cheese.
later
I was
in the book.
picturing-
That was when he was stuck in a van.
That was the second kidnapping.
It
Yeah,
was the
that's
the
second
cheese,
kidnapping
yeah.
in the van that
Yeah.
he had the cheese.
And
He
how
had.
Kidnapping was
I thought it was
gross.
American sliced cheese. That's what
Well,
I
that's
was.
Yeah.
That's what I thought
kind of the
too.
same.
Yeah.
Is that
thing.
the same as
Oh,
commodity
yeah.
cheese?
No, it's Britain, so it was probably actually some like delicious Wensleydale or something.
Right,
like
I know.
that.
It was probably amazing. Something we would kill
We have
for
no
here.
idea, but I'm imagining just like eating from a brick of Velveeta. Okay, so yes, strong hook. Number two, an atmospheric setting. And what I have written here is one could argue that England in the 70s was highly atmospheric
I think it was.
with the power cuts and unemployment and all. But I just didn't really feel like this book provided that much of an atmospheric
We spent
setting.
a lot of time in a dark
We spent a
room.
lot of time being
A lot
kidnapped.
of time
We
in a
spent
dark
like
room.
4 chapters on that boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another couple in the van later. We kidnapped a lot in this book.
And then there was the chapter
Yeah.
where he's hiding in like the hole in his closet at
Yeah.
house, which is like, sort of like a self-kidnapping hiding thing.
Mhm. Yeah. And then he goes and hides at Hillary's house.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
we're gonna
just-
talk about
and-
Hillary.
Oh, Hillary.
Oh, that's
She's
the
an
best part.
She is an interesting character.
We're
She
gonna
is.
get there.
She
She's
is.
an interesting
I dug
character.
her.
So okay, so
Yeah,
atmospheric
she's
setting.
my favorite.
Maybe
So-
not. Maybe not the atmosphere.
No.
No.
I
could have used
I
some more
literally
description of the
listened
hats
to it
at the
via
races.
audiobook. It was an hour and a half on that boat.
An
In the dark room. An hour and
Yeah.
a half.
Okay, number 3. According to the internet, a good mystery should contain number 3, a crime.
Oh, yeah.
Technically, it contains several.
Technically,
there's
it's
many
like
crimes.
Many
several.
crimes.
Many crimes.
There are
But
no
it says-
murders.
It seems like the victim of this crime, Roland.
Roland.
Roland
Yeah.
Britton.
Roland
character.
Britton,
Roland
our
Britton, yeah.
protagonist,
Yeah.
was more inconvenienced than in danger at any point.
I've never seen someone be so chill about being kidnapped.
Yeah, it's like he wanted to go back to work after. He's
He
like,
was
well,
like,
I might as well
well,
go back to the office.
You gotta go back to the office.
Especially the second time.
Jeez.
He's like, it'll work out.
The
I'll
police
just
show
hang
up
out
and
in
he's
this
like, back
van."
here.
Yeah.
Come over here.
In
Come
this
get me.
van.
Yeah.
It's cool. So I'm putting
I
it-
do love that we find out though that like all of England has been concerned about him the second time. It's like
Well,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
time no one
Yeah.
cared, and the second time it made me happy. I was like, oh, at
Well,
least someone cares.
somebody's
At least-
paying attention.
Yeah, at least the tabs got it. You know,
Yeah.
like somebody's
News
making
of the
some- yeah.
world is like
Exactly.
jockey
Yeah,
missing.
yeah.
Yes, there is a crime. There are several crimes. But honestly, the crime is that Roe was kidnapped a couple of times, and he just really wants to know why.
Yeah.
Which is a fair
Yeah.
Which is
question.
fair.
Sure.
But also
Just wanna make sure
goes
it's
to
not gonna
show
happen
that
again.
when he was kidnapped, no one bothered to tell him why.
Yeah.
They
Well,
didn't know.
He tried to ask the boat guy.
Yeah.
several
That's right.
The boat
times.
guy
He
didn't
did.
know why.
The
Yeah.
boat
He just knew
guys
to take him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was clearly paid off to just
Yeah, yeah.
deal with this guy.
deal with this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Who
He apologized later.
Well,
Yeah,
it's kind
exactly.
it was nice
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah.
You know, he
Yeah.
would leave the little hatch open for some
He
fresh
gave him
air.
a book.
He gave
Yeah.
him a book.
Yeah.
Wonder if it was a Dick
It's not the
Francis
worst
book.
kidnapping. It was. I like to think it was. Who's that great British romance novelist?
Barbara
Barbara
Cartland?
Cartland. I
Yes.
like to think it was a Barbara
It was a
Cartland.
Barbara Cartland
okay,
novel.
Yeah. The Love Pirate by Barbara Cartland.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's a yes for number 3. Number 4.
And all the embezzling. There was like a ton of embezzling.
So
going
much
on.
embezzling.
Yeah,
There
which
was
is why
so-
it's important that he's
the
an
crime-
accountant.
That's
Like-
where the accounting comes in.
Yeah.
All the
Mhm.
The
embezzlement.
it matters that
embezzlement
he's an
was
accountant.
like secondary
It was like tertiary.
to the
No, the kidnap. Like it was the reason for the kidnapping.
Yeah.
It was the reason
Yeah.
for the kidnapping,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
actually
Which-
it wasn't
Which
because
is like, let's just kidnap our accountant until after tax day, and then everything will be fine.
I mean,
It's the whole motivation of the crime. Yeah.
And Trevor's just so cool about this too. Like, this is all gonna be okay. We're just gonna
It's
kidnap
just
him
no big
again.
deal. We're
Yeah.
just gonna because we like
Trevor
Rowan
was in
just be
Spain.
quiet.
is ultimately
Yeah.
kidnapped so that he doesn't see the cooked books
Mhm.
because Ro is an accountant
With integrity.
with
Yes.
With
integrity.
a heart of gold.
Oh, we're gonna get to his origin story, my friend. He's
Whereas Trevor's just kind of like,
Trevor's
as long as you
just
cut
in it
me
for
in.
the flash.
Yeah.
You know, I think Trevor seemed very susceptible to peer pressure, didn't he?
He does,
He
he
seemed like he
does.
didn't have a lot of character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay, number 4, a good mystery needs a sleuth, which we didn't, I mean, kind of, but he is an accountant. So it's
Yeah.
not like, it says here, the internet says that the sleuth needs a backstory that connects them to the crime and a motive that explains why solving this is important to them. In this case, the backstory is he was kidnapped, and his motive is to find out why he was
And-
kidnapped.
So as not to be kidnapped.
So as
a
not to be
third time.
kidnapped again.
Yeah.
This is like a half point or something. I mean,
Yes.
it's not-
And it says we
Yeah,
get
yeah.
more, but later on, we get more information on why he became an accountant. And let me flip to my other. Here are my notes. Rowe became an accountant because he, quote, grown up with fiery zeal as powerful as a vocation.
Yes.
Which is a crazy thing to say since accounting is, in fact, a vocation. And why does he have the fiery zeal? Because his mother was ripped off. Well, actually, she was paying taxes on money she shouldn't have paid on. And I wrote, what does that mean?
There is a Thatcher-esque economic
And
theory
I
at
said,
work
I
here.
couldn't tell you because I'm not an expert on the English tax laws circa 1977. But it was rough for a 10-year-old Roe. He felt protective of his mother. She would cry in the off-season because there were no guests for her seaside boarding house. Was it because of a deadbeat dad? No. She cried because she cried when she saw her accountant.
Mhm.
And Roe tried to get her to open up. Mom, what's wrong? And she said, oh, you're too young. Yes,
Mhm.
because what 10-year-old child is going to try and get his mom to open up like that? But he pressed on, telling her to ditch her accountant. And again, she said, you're too young. And so he vowed to become an accountant when he grew up to put her affairs right.
Yeah.
Apparently, this was
very
a problem
Bruce
back
Wayne
then.
esque.
Well,
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
Rose spent his youth shuffling between relatives and holding on to his mom's ledgers like a maniac.
Yes.
And
I
one
love
day he
that
takes
detail.
him to another accountant who joked that the original accountant was, quote, working for Inland Revenue instead of his client. Right. And so it
Yeah.
sounds to me like Rose's mom's accountant was just paying her taxes. But she
Yes,
shouldn't have had
badly.
to. Badly.
Yeah. She was not rich dad, poor dadding her taxes.
Jossie
way.
asks Roe if he's still, quote, killing Mr. Jones, the accountant, to dry his mother's tears.
Oh.
It's just ridiculous. So our main character's foundational wound was
Bad accounting.
the bad accounting for his mom.
I'll say this. I have 2 siblings who are CPAs.
Mhm.
Tell 5-year-old me that that's what they ended up doing. There's no surprise on that kid's face.
So it's just an innate, born within you.
There's a born accounting. It's like a calling. It's like if you're, yeah, it's real. It's
Numbers
real.
are
This part of
awesome.
Roland I believed because I lived with it. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
This is a true story.
Yes,
I know,
I believe
right?
this part very much.
So that's our sleuth. Embezzlement was a real crime, and Roe just kind of shrugged when he found that out.
He was like, I really just want to get this math solved. I don't
Right.
really like, yeah.
The numbers are just not.
It's
Yeah.
not working.
Yeah.
And integrity. And he does make it clear too. He's like, if I don't turn you in, this is our business. Like we're like, it's not just me that's on the hook for this. You're my
Right.
partner, Trevor. And yeah, so
Yeah.
he's in
His
trouble
loyalty
too.
to Trevor too is like, I'm like,
So number 5 on the list is a villain.
Mm.
well, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
There
Several.
are quite a few, but then there's also not any.
Yeah.
Kind of. No, they sort of all coalesce there at the end like a super team of villains.
It does. It does. It's
But
super,
until then, the villain
Crosby,
he
Still,
just keeps
Nash, and
getting
Young
knocked
of
out and
embezzlement.
waking up places, and like like you never really encounter anybody. There was the really tense scene when he gets off the boat and the guy from the boat is chasing him and he meets Hillary. I love that scene actually because that sense of chase
Yes.
very much had my heart going.
I wrote that it might have actually been a better story if Benny, the red herring stable
Mm-hmm.
guy, trainer.
Didn't he just reek of red herring?
He did rig
He
a red
did,
herring, but I
yeah.
actually said
Yeah.
it might have been a better story if he was
Yeah.
the actual culprit and had succeeded in sabotaging the bridal. Because there's this whole scene where he's like, "The bridal's sabotaged."
Yeah.
That's cool. We'll swap it out. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's how you build tension in a story.
I feel
is
like
realizing that it's been sabotaged
Right.
and fixing it.
Right?
First.
Yeah.
I feel like Benny would have had to have been a more intelligent character, though. Benny was just like barely getting by in life. there.
Yeah.
He
Benny was
just-
not doing good, man.
No.
Especially there at the end when he like locks the horses away and won't let her in. Like,
Yeah.
like he's losing it, man. Benny, get it together.
Get it together, Benny.
Benny kind of got his.
Where he did.
Yeah, he went nuts and
He
got
did.
his.
So there are many villains.
Yeah.
Yes. Number
And
6.
Myra just really likes to stick it to poor Benny too. I
Mhm.
just, I'm just like this poor
He
man.
got it coming. He's got it coming. He needs to get it together.
Is it time? Is it time to talk about Hillary?
Let's talk about Hillary.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Okay.
about Hillary.
We have a lot of opinions.
I have a
about
lot of
Hillary. Yeah.
opinions.
Let's
on
talk about
Hillary.
Hillary,
Definitely.
the headmistress.
Okay, we have to tread carefully. So he's on the boat.
Mhm.
He finally, somehow miraculously managed to unscrew. I learned also about how pump toilets work a lot in this book. To pump toilets on boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he removed the handle, but didn't have to use it. Thank goodness. Again. It's like
Water
it's like
everywhere.
Chekhov's pump toilet handle that
Which-
never goes off in the third act.
Remind me later to say Chekhov's again, because there's a Chekhov's gun rule in this that gets broken and bugs me, but we'll get there.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
right.
get
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So he swims to shore. He's hiding. Hillary, this woman, she shows up, and the Rose description of her is it's grim. Friends, it's
Yeah,
grim.
it's grim.
Yes,
it is not. She's very homely. Yeah.
It
Yes.
says she's described as a no-nonsense middle-aged lady with spectacles and a practical air, self-confident, tall, thin, and far from a beauty. You know why she's far from a beauty? Because it is clearly stated that she is between the ages of 42 and 46.
Yep. And I will add that in addition to that thin and far from a beauty, she was 6 feet tall too.
Right. She
So
was
another
6 feet.
strike
So she's
against her.
yeah.
According to Roland.
Exactly. She is a headmistress of a girls only comprehensive school, and let's just say that she has never known a man.
She hasn't dated a lot.
She hasn't
No,
dated a lot.
She's been busy.
She's
been single.
because she's too busy being
Yeah.
the headmistress of the
She-
school and being not very pretty.
She teaches a spin class.
She
Okay, there you go.
You can
I
say
like
it that
I like-
way.
There you go. I
Yeah.
love that.
And so she sees this guy jump off a boat, swim to shore, hides, helps him hide,
Has no idea who
has
this
no
guy
idea
is.
who he is,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, by the way, would you do me a favor and, you know,
Help
Hang
me
out
with
with me
my
for a
spin.
while.
help a
class.
girl
Yeah.
out?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Ro is terrible about it.
yeah.
Okay, first of all, this woman shows up out of nowhere to our hero.
Extremely helpfully.
And she's extremely helpful
Yeah.
to maybe a parasocial level later on.
Yeah.
She is not threatening at all, but
And she just saved his life, basically.
she does
Yeah.
saved his
So-
life, but she's also got a large nose, downturned mouth, small eyes, and wrinkly with no glow to her skin.
How dare she?
How dare she? And she's never been pretty, and she's been too competent at learning, teaching, organizing, and administrating, quote unquote, all unfeminine things.
Doesn't sound to me like she's been missing much, frankly.
Frankly, I know. And
Sounds like she's got it together. She's on vacation by herself
Yeah.
in Minorca.
she's I'm a working woman.
Yeah.
But thankfully this guy just came up and she's and then of course Ro manages to dig deep within himself
He,
and
he accesses his higher self.
he accesses his higher self and is
Yeah.
able to meet her request.
Yes.
It is actual bananas.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Roland's, I mean, He's not much of a Casanova himself.
No.
Based on some of
No.
the
He really
dialogue.
isn't.
No.
No. I
I mean, some of his dialogue is so bad. If this wasn't written in 1977, I would think AI came up with it. Some of the stuff between Roland and Hillary is not how people talk. It's just
No,
it's
not at
very
all.
unnatural.
Well,
And
and
my
it's not
biggest thing
flirting
is
by any
how
stretch.
competent we're making Hillary. But then I'm like, but then she just finds a guy that just came off a boat and is like, this is a great idea. I'm like,
Exactly.
yeah,
that's
like
co-
2/3 of the way
totally
she turns into
counter-
Veronica Mars all
I
of a
know.
sudden.
And,
Like, is there a sleuth? Yeah, it's Hillary.
Of course, you've got to also think about this was written in the 70s.
Mhm.
So just the impression of women
Mhm.
in the 70s was a
Mhm.
little different than
It was a little
today.
different.
Yeah,
And what's
yeah.
also strange is like in reading that portion of the book, it's because it happens at the beginning with Hillary. The exchange just kind of ends. Then he's back at work.
Yeah. And then she's
much.
later in the book. Oh, there
6
she is.
chapters later.
Here she comes. Yeah.
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 Back again.
She's after their rendezvous, she hung around because they're in Menorca,
Mhm.
not Mallorca, and so after their rendezvous, she's like, I'm just gonna hang around on the island and see about these guys
Track
who
this
were
guy
do
down.
some
solve the
kidnapping.
mystery. Yeah.
You know what's going on. She drives all over the place. How kind of her, I wrote. And I said she goes on to do a lot of work at tracking these guys down, and then she shows up again. Can we talk about the red cloak? He buys her a red cloak.
Oh, okay.
This was
yeah,
And
a
she
weird
takes off her
moment.
glasses.
This was such a weird.
Well, I mean, she's an ogre. I mean, that's
Hillary
basically
is
the
an
bottom
ogre.
line. Is an ogre.
Oh, no. Once we get the red cloak.
She
Well, that
buys a
changes
red cloak.
everything.
Also, guys, she took off her glasses.
I know.
Yeah,
Aaron,
that's.
that's all we need.
That's
We need
all
to-
we
That's all we
need.
need.
That's
Gotta
how you know
take
she's
off
all
our
that.
That's how she knows she is indeed all that.
She is all that.
Nowadays, it's different. Nowadays, it's like put them on, and then it just the IQ shoots up.
Right,
Yeah.
Studious,
exactly.
but back then.
So, right, this
Yeah.
whole thing about the character of Hillary is she was introduced to serve Roe
Hmm.
to offer herself to him. Like, hey,
Yeah.
we just want to make sure that this masculine single man is getting
But
what
but
he needs.
how stereotypical is that of the 1970s
Correct.
movies
Yeah.
and everything
Oh,
else?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
just
Right, we haven't-
very
Yeah.
we haven't even
period
gotten
correct.
we haven't even gotten to Jossie.
Oh Lord.
yet.
Oh Jossie girl.
I have written
Ugh.
down maiden, mother, and crone are
It's
the ladies ruling
It's
Roe's
true.
life.
Yeah, it's true. It's completely true.
She offers her body, which he reluctantly accepts, and then she runs around unbidden to gather information for him, and then it comes with pages and pages of like secondhand exposition, which is a massive info dump delivered to the main character without him having to do the slightest bit of detective work.
Yeah, yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
It says throughout the whole book, things happen to or happen around Roe, which really robs him of any action at all.
Good thing that he has all these ladies.
It's a good
around
thing
him.
he's got all
Yeah.
these ladies around.
Turns out later he's good at math.
Yeah, that's true.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
So we have Jossie, and then there's Jossie the maiden. Creepy because when he
She made me uncomfortable. I didn't like her.
Yeah. Well, I just
she
kept
was a
wondering
lot.
what's up with her because I was like, is she part of her dad's scheme? Because I mean, I'm a mystery novel reader, and
Mhm.
so like we were halfway through before I was like, okay, I got this. So especially with Jossie coming in and stuff, I was like, so is she part of Daddy's scheme,
Mm-hmm.
or what's going on with her? Because she just was so
I said in my notes I wrote, poor Jossie has mommy issues too. Her mother is an intrepid female explorer storming about in rainforests, sending back dispatches in the shape of earnest papers to obscure magazines. And I wrote, can't a woman have a life?
Right?
Yeah.
For crying
She
out
sounds
loud.
cool.
I know.
And knowing what we do about her husband, who can blame her?
Yeah. I'd be wandering around the jungle myself.
I would have
yeah.
knocked out
no,
myself.
but,
Right.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't clear, it is indeed Jossie's dad who is
The
responsible-
mastermind.
the mastermind
Yeah.
behind all of this
Yep.
kidnapping. But Jossie is described as I said, full of stereotypes about a girl who can eat anything, as if waistlines never expand.
She's the classic girl laughing over a salad.
She has a tall, slender body. Exactly. Okay, there's that. We can move back on to our.
She just
Oh
has
yeah,
to.
what's the next thing on the checklist?
We have to. We have to outline all the women.
We-
and
we-
and
Yeah.
Aaron's opinion.
And now we've outlined both of them.
Yeah.
3 of them. We've talked about the mom.
Yeah.
Both
Oh, yeah,
of
that's
them.
true, yeah.
Yeah, both
These,
of them
these
and
girls
moms.
We don't really talk
do
about
not
Moira,
talk to
but-
each other.
No,
they
yeah.
actually do talk to each other, but it is about a man.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
At the very
There is no
end.
Bechdel test here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a weird team up with Jossie and Hillary at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like the way that Hillary set Jossie straight there. For a
I did
minute,
too,
though.
actually.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed
But
that.
it was,
was-
weird because she was like, he did all this for you, Jossie. I'm like, did he?
I feel like yes.
I think so.
because Especially the fact that he let them go, he did for her. I feel
Yeah.
like, yeah.
So remember, guys, in this mystery full of crimes, absolutely nobody is held accountable
No, no.
or
one.
punished in any way,
Literally
shape,
no
or
No,
one.
form.
because he likes
Yeah.
Jossie.
He likes Jossie.
And so yeah, he.
These
you
are
know,
rich guys we're talking
He tells
about.
Dad, go burn your stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe,
I'm gonna call the police at X time tomorrow.
Right.
What you do between now and then is up to you, buddy.
I kept telling her the whole time I read this. I was like, this reminds me very much of a Dick Tracy episode, or
Oh, yeah.
Bill, or
Okay, so
very,
number
yeah.
6 on our checklist is a good mystery needs narrative momentum. And I wrote, technically this is necessary for any book, not
Yeah.
just mysteries.
Yeah.
Not yeah.
But this book did lack the momentum of a champion thoroughbred and really made me feel more about like watching an episode of the Rockford Files,
Completely.
which is like there
Yeah.
is one storyline and we're going
Yeah.
the entire time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of driving around and talking to people.
Yes.
There's some
Yeah.
talking on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a girl. There's an
That's
old
a
woman.
really good comparison. This was very Rockford Files.
It was
Yeah,
very
you're
Rockford,
right,
and it's
yeah.
and it moves at a glacial pace.
Yeah, absolutely.
An
Which is
hour
hilarious.
and a half on the boat.
An-
I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
no, it's hilarious because like the first thing that happens, like, oh, okay, we're just right in. He just got thrown in a boat, and then like however many pages later, you're like,
I literally
Like,
wrote.
days.
are you thinking about getting off the boat at some point?
Okay, so that was
or-
my. Let's see, 1 hour and 20 minutes. We are still on the boat. This is dragging. Probably how the character felt. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not
I was
going
like,
to chalk this
maybe-
up to Dick Francis being like, what I'm trying to do is put the reader in the headspace
I
of our
tried.
protagonist.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm trying to make the reader bored so you understand what the character
Now
was
you know how he
feeling.
feels.
But you see, this was only an hour and 20 in, so I was like, I'm gonna give Dick Francis the benefit of the doubt that maybe he's just trying to like put us in the character's shoes. Not so much after we see the Hillary thing and everything. I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
No.
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 Took him a long time to take that toilet apart.
It really did take him a long time to take that total apart. And I'm also like, I don't think that works. I don't think that works. That you could just like just like breathe on it.
Well,
Warm
he
it
had
up.
like
What
the
did he have, like, a
elastic
piece of-
from his pants.
Yeah, he was methodical.
Yeah.
I'll give
He
him that.
was.
Yeah,
He was.
You know, a little MacGyver move there.
A little bit. Now, as I've said before, I am not a mystery reader. And so these next 2 questions on our list, 7 and 8, are trail of clues and foreshadowing. Any yes, no?
I think there were a ton
Definitely,
of
there
trail
was
clues.
definitely foreshadowing, but I almost think it was, as a mystery reader myself, I think the foreshadowing was too obvious.
yeah.
It was too obvious because that was my frustration. I was halfway through and I was like, he did it and they helped. And
Yeah.
it was just really obvious because he just kept going back to it too much.
Mhm.
Too much and trying to make it sound incidental.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It always was so like, oh, and then this happened, no big deal. Like,
yeah.
Mhm.
you know what I mean? But
You-
it just kept
I
coming
mean,
up.
Like the red herring theme of
The-
this book was
the-
strong.
Very.
The Benny red herring was very strong. Even I picked up on that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I can't, if I watch a mystery, I'm like, it's great because in the end, it's always a surprise for me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
la la la, I don't know.
That's what, like, I got about halfway through, and Erin was reading, and she was like, you know, she had her opinions of the book and stuff, and I was like, well, maybe you'll like it better than me, because you are that one that, like, doesn't figure it out into the end, but I, like, was already mad about halfway through, because I was like, I got this, like,
And
Yeah.
I must admit,
But-
at one
Yeah.
point I was like, I think Trevor's involved in this.
yeah, yeah, when she started picking it up, I was like, but the point in picking this book is you were talking about a formulaic
right.
novel.
Formulaic,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this
yeah,
is
yeah.
like the
Very much
quintessential
so.
mystery.
Yeah, yeah.
But
absolutely
if
is.
you are a mystery reader, that's why you figure it out halfway through the
Right.
book, is because you understand that formula.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
So-
also understand that the regular readers of mysteries, these books, is part of the fun is figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know.
you feel very proud when you figure it out
Yes.
halfway through. You're
Right.
like, I've got this.
So
I'm going to keep reading, but I already know
this
the
book,
end.
did it have a strong trail of clues?
Possibly too strong.
Yeah, that's the problem, is it's too strong.
Please no, I did not pick up on any
But-
of them.
Possibly too strong.
It was too strong, and I think that's why he kept throwing. If you have to throw that many red herrings in a book, it's too
There's
strong.
quite a number of
Well,
it.
number
Yeah.
9 on the list is red herrings. And
I mean, it was a herring salad.
It was a herring.
it was a herring
Salad.
salad.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
first of all, I had to look up where the term red herring came from. It originated in 1907 by an Englishman named William Cobbett, a farmer, politician, journalist, and pamphleteer. And he wrote about when he was he and his brother used herring to distract hunting dogs from the rabbit they were trying to catch.
Oh.
And it's a red herring because at the time the herring was preserved in salt and vinegar of some sort, you know, and it
Those
turned
Brits
it
and their food.
red, delicious. I
Mm.
know.
And
but
it had a very strong scent, which is why they used it
Yeah.
for the dogs.
yeah, it had a very strong scent, so they would use it
Okay.
to distract the dogs.
Gotcha.
I
Um,
also looked it up because I thought the same thing. I was like,
Huh.
what is the origin of... Yeah, and it's a
Yeah.
smoked fish,
Mhm.
and it turns reddish brown during the smoking process.
There you
So
go.
There
Okay.
you go.
Ta-da.
Wow.
See?
So yes, there were many red herrings. The entire Benny subplot, which could have been its own book, frankly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they really... that's one thing that I have to complain about a little bit is Benny and Myra's relationship. We could have expanded on that. That was very strange and interesting
They were interesting,
dynamic.
yeah.
It really was.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want their spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely
I want their
want-
show.
Yeah.
That's my Benny.
And he's like, these horses are crazy. And the
Benny,
IRA
unlock the
tried to
door.
kidnap
Let us
him.
in with the horses, Benny.
Well, my-
Unlock the door. What's wrong with you?
And my favorite is Benny's just like trying
No.
to keep stuff together, and Myra's like, "I'm gonna do whatever I want, Benny.
I'm
Whatever.
rich.
Myra's a rich old British lady. She didn't care.
No,
Yeah.
she does not
She
care.
has no consequences to anything
She
that she
inherited
does. Yeah.
those stables.
I can just
She's
see
gonna
her
be
like
fine.
flinging the scarf over her shoulder. I
Right.
mean, it's the visuals.
Whizzing
there.
off in her Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, completely. Yeah, but she didn't know how to drive.
No, absolutely not. She's just,
No, she just jumps in the
she's got a
passenger
drink in one hand, a cigarette in the other. The car's just like rolling down the hill. Goodbye.
Her Spread and Hello magazine. I would live for it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Her and Mandy Rice Davies just hanging out.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, number 10 on the list is a satisfying ending.
Okay, I think it's a funny ending.
I think it's an abrupt ending.
I
And
thought
this
it
is
was
very
good.
much
Abrupt,
a
yeah.
freeze frame roll credits
Okay,
ending.
so I just like
Tell us about the ending.
Okay, so the thing that I really love about it, and I don't know, there's something just this is so dumb, but there's something that really sweet I found about just his explanation of like I have been doing so much accounting in this whole town. I know who buys what from whom. I know
Mhm.
where every transaction happens. I know there's
There was
something
so
going
much
on here.
accounting in this book, guys.
But it's like I don't know. It's like they just had this sort of community spirit to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was funny that he just had that like. Again, the guy's enormous amount of pattern recognition.
Yeah, this enormous amount of pattern
You know what I
recognition.
mean? That
Like,
helped him
honestly,
solve
like,
this
let's
mystery.
just envision, because I'm envisioning him. So the super group of embezzlers gets together.
Yeah, and here's where something bugs me because he comes in with a shotgun
Uh-huh.
that is never fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
And plus
That
it's
is
like-
breaking a key rule.
I know. That is like the ultimate rule.
Like you can't bring a gun into a scene, especially when you're at the climax of the book,
Yeah.
and it just gets stashed behind the bar and never seen
and
again.
then they just tie him up with some
and
table
they just
napkins.
tie him up, and he's very pained. for,
He's
like-
just in agony.
Yeah.
And I
Over
imagine
table
every-
napkins.
He's
too.
used to it by that point.
I guess
He's
technically
been
that's the
kidnapped
third
so many
kidnapping.
times.
Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
count-
the third
If you count that as a kidnapping, every kidnapping just gets worse
Yes.
for him. Like the first one's kind of okay. He's got a book and a toilet.
Yeah.
The second one, he's in a van with cheese. But the third one, he's just tied up at home,
tied up
unable
a
to
t-
move, and like in so much
And it
pain
made
that
it
he.
sound like he was tied up just like bent backwards over a pommel horse.
That's what it sounded like. Yeah, he was
strange,
clearly in a lot of
yeah.
pain.
But
yeah.
I also am just like, is he just like laying back on the table?
Well, and also just again so British. Like, well, someone will come and get me. I mean, this hurts, but someone will be
Yeah.
here. at some point.
That was his attitude.
It was
Well,
so
wait till
much-
morning. Someone will be here at 9 o'clock.
Somebody
So
will be here.
Yeah, no.
Nanny state.
This is less than ideal.
Yeah. No, as a American, there's no way. He'd be screaming.
Yeah.
He'd be like trying to chew
Completely.
off.
I
it.
know.
Yeah, he would shoot through
Very
his
much.
hands.
But it's,
Yeah.
it's really just
127
like,
hours.
keep calm and carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that in this book, though. God,
Yeah.
like, what happens to British people when they get kidnapped?
I don't know.
They just roll with it, I
Apparently
guess.
They just are like,
just
"Oh,
end up in
Fortunately,
Minorca.
their kidnappers are pretty chill about things.
Yeah, but the
Philly will
gun
happen
thing
more than
really,
once.
really bothered me. I think it's the worst writing in the whole book. that gun doesn't get at least fired into the ceiling.
Uh-huh.
Something.
There's some struggle for it or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then dude just walks over and sticks it behind the bar, and we never see it again.
And we never
Yeah.
see it again, and he's untied,
Drove me
and
nuts.
the end.
The end. Oh no!
Well, the ladies
because
saved him.
Well,
The-
the
yes.
ladies saved him.
save him.
Jossie
Yeah.
and Hillary
Jossie and Hillary
team up
figured it
to
out.
save him.
Yep. And he lets everybody go.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
He tells they all go.
So
and
they
burn
all
their
get away
evidence.
with their
Yeah.
Everybody gets
Yeah,
away
yeah.
with their crimes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And really, the whole kidnapping thing is just so he didn't see the cookbooks.
Yeah, it's just to get him out of the picture until tax day.
You know, if he would
Which
just
I'm like-
not be so nosy, then
Dude, lock your office.
I know.
Yeah, right.
Hide your
Something.
cooked books better.
This
Yeah.
is the 70s. They had safes. I
Yeah.
mean, just
Right.
put it in the safe.
I
You
did
have
love
to
the,
keep
I
it
did
at your
love the
office.
partner. I did love Trevor being like, "Oh, $50,000. That's fine.
It's no big deal.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. We're just accountants. $50,000 missing is nothing.
Nothing. What are you talking about? It's pounds sterling, by the
As
way.
the reader, you're
and
like-
of course, in 1977, 50,000 pounds sterling is probably worth like $4 million.
An
I
enormous
know,
amount
it's
of
probably
money,
way
enormous-
more than
But
what
huge
we're
Roland,
amount of
thinking.
money.
he's not going to let it go. He
Yeah.
does not let it
not.
go.
Yeah.
Look.
Everybody
was just-
says we can just write it off. Nope. No.
But as a
He just
reader,
remembers his mother crying
Exactly.
Yeah.
over her accountant, and he's like, not me.
Yeah.
yeah. I have like poverty stories in my family that are really sad, and that is not why anyone in my family is an accountant. I just want to say that.
You know what we need to do is just keep track of our money better.
Yeah, seriously. Rich dad, poor dad. Again.
That is-
Yeah. No, but I loved that, and I loved just like the whole wrap up. I thought was hilariously brief. It just really just sort of ends.
It's completely chaotic too.
Yeah.
You know, I loved too. Aaron almost killed me the last book about nuclear physics in
Uh-huh.
the last book, and I liked how he actually in chapter 18 towards the end referred to nuclear physics. That was just for Aaron.
So what I'm saying is, there's a theme, there's
Yeah.
a thread running through all of these episodes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
I just I had to stop.
Next week on the
that. I was like,
podcast,
just
X-Men, the
for-
movie, the novel.
Actually, no, Elaine's picking the next book, and this is definitely a stark contrast. There's a mystery to it, but it is very stark contrast from the other two books that we read.
Right.
So,
We will make that announcement.
I don't even know if you would call it a mystery, but I would say like the best mystery I've read, or that I would say that I've read as an adult, probably it's sort of mystery-esque, is The Goldfinch. Have you guys read The Goldfinch?
I am not.
Absolutely love.
I read The Secret History, though, so.
Okay. Okay. Oh well.
No, but I read a book by the same author earlier.
Actually, I haven't read that one. Is it
You
good?
haven't read that one?
No, is it good?
I read it because it came out in the 90s,
Mhm.
and I read it in the 90s, and it's like, it predates this sort of Instagram dark academia thing.
Oh.
And it's very much like a group of quirky friends gets together
That is
and
so
the
90s.
university, and one of them ends up dead. But he was actually, nobody liked him, so like, did it matter? And that character's name was Bunny, so.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It is very like, what's the word, like, dance in torn sheets in the rain. It's
Oh,
very
yeah, yeah.
Deadbeat Club.
Oh, see, I think I'd probably like that. I loved The Goldfinch was sort of, I don't know, I'm probably getting in trouble calling it a mystery because it really is not entirely, but it's almost like a mystery. It's almost like an art heist from the heister's point of view,
Mhm.
but it's an accidental heist.
Oh.
Kid ends up with a painting he doesn't exactly mean to end up with, but he doesn't
Nice.
really know what to do with it now that he's
Once
got
he
it.
got it, yeah.
And so it kind of goes through his life of him like trying to figure out what to do with this. It's
Oh,
it's
huh.
really
That
I
is
loved it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I
It may
loved
be a mystery, but it is not a formulaic.
It's tense.
For
I'll say
sure.
that. It is tense.
Unlike.
It's a tense book. It's a tense
Risk.
literary, yeah, or all those Nancy Drew mysteries.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely a formulaic mystery
Yeah.
as
It is
well.
very
Like, that
But
is,
I think
like,
I think the
quintessential.
formula has a place though, because I think, I mean, that's why we have things like beach reads.
Mhm.
Well,
You know what I mean? I think sometimes you just want to read and be pulled through.
Well,
much so.
Yeah.
that's what we talked about. It's just light reads and stuff. It's
Mhm.
just we don't always want the light eaters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that one is, that's really a mind
Deeply
expander.
inspiring, but mind expanding. in a
Mind
way that's
expanding.
tiring, yeah.
And I mean, those are great. But
Yeah.
then after you read something like The Light Eaters, you do not want to read another one like
No.
that. You need something like Risk.
What I
Yes.
read after that, one of my staff got me a book, I think for my last birthday, that was a Golden Girls cozy mystery.
Oh.
And I had the best time.
I was gonna say I
and
need
I'm
that
gonna
too.
tell you it was great.
Oh, I'm not going to say it was great. I'm just going to say I had the best time reading it.
Yeah, I love me
Right?
some Golden Girls. So
It made
yeah.
me wish that people had gotten murdered on the Golden Girls a lot more often.
I'm gonna say something extremely controversial.
Do you not like the Golden Girls?
I'm saying that designing women deserves as
I
much
agree with
a
you.
place
Okay,
1000%
in
agree with you.
that
pop
was good
culture
too.
1000% agree with you.
as the
Yes.
Golden Girls,
Uh,
if not a little more.
Agree.
That was classic too. I agree. I agree.
Agree.
Yeah.
1000%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's it's just because the Golden Girls ended up so beloved later that it ended
That's
up getting
right.
more popular.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Delta Burke did not host Saturday Night Live. Yet.
She could have.
Yet.
No.
Is she still with us?
She is.
Oh,
She
see,
and Gerald McRaney are still
Lauren, call me. Lauren.
Major Dad. Well, Matt, you're kind of quiet. Is there anything you want to?
Yeah, I will. I wanted to chime in. The biggest travesty about this book,
Yeah.
and I liked a lot of it. I mean, I did.
He was-
Matt,
It's
you're
a
a
list.
man.
Yeah, between,
Yeah, no.
between us.
What's it like
No.
to read this book
No.
for men?
Yeah.
What it's like is, we're not talking about horses or racing at all. It's
Right.
a huge crime.
Right.
It's an absolute travesty.
Yeah.
I mean, the character, he becomes more likable towards the end. I'm like, okay, maybe he does
Does
have
he?
a moral compass, a little bit. A little bit, because all the people around him, like, they're questionable characters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Most of them are, and no wonder they take advantage of them.
Well, Benny's just crazy. He's not really questionable.
Yeah,
he's
he's
just
not
crazy.
doing good.
Yeah.
Benny's
I
not
mean-
doing good.
Lead
Yeah, I
paint
kind of love me some
situation.
Benny. It's
He
okay.
went through some rough time in the war.
Yeah, something,
No,
something's
I
wrong
mean,
with Benny.
Some of the prose, I don't think we brought this up, but it was written by Dick Francis and his wife.
Yes.
And I
Mhm.
think you can tell they're two voices, two very distinct voices.
Oh.
in
Oh,
this.
really? Where do you see that?
Well, I think some of the prose is just so beautiful. And there was one line where he says, "I'm high on the glory wave that would put poppies out of business."
Oh.
That's pretty good. But then you look at anything between Hillary and Roland, and I'm like,
That's him.
That
is
is,
him.
that is
That's
a
a
man
man.
talking to a
Yeah.
man right there.
Writing that.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy, I don't know. So this just makes me want to go out and read a book about horses that's not by Dick Francis.
I feel like it's about horses in the way that, like, Heated Rivalry is about hockey. That
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights is about football. That The Walking
Right.
Dead is about zombies. Like, it's just part of the set dressing
Yeah.
that makes
You
it
know,
interesting.
looking at his life story, I mean, you're like, wow, this guy rode for the Queen.
Yeah.
He won 350 races.
Mhm.
So I wanted a little bit more, and especially the betting side. I mean,
So, what's funny is reading this, one thought I kept having as an editor is like, I just know there was so much more horse stuff in this. And the editor was like, you are losing a reader every page of this. You don't cut.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think so?
Because
Well,
we could have lost some of the accounting and it been more
Well,
about
that's
the
fair.
steeplechase.
That's fair.
Because
Right.
I
Yeah, that's
actually
fair.
found
Okay.
the steeplechase side interesting.
I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting too.
Yeah.
I also I'm like,
So from a woman's
I'll
perspective,
say this.
we want some horse
What made me think that is
racing.
I've
Yeah.
done so much editing of people who were so knowledgeable about a specific subject like this,
Mm-hmm.
but who are writing for a general audience,
Uh-huh.
and the amount of reining them in you have to do, where you have to be like, no one knows what you're talking about.
right.
Like I can't drive you to every reader's door and have you explain the 30 years of experience that you bring to it has to read on the page for them. You know what I mean?
I really felt like though this could have been about sports betting.
Uh-huh.
And
It
we
could have,
could have
yeah.
spent more time on
Yeah.
the steeplechase racing because that actually was far more interesting
Yeah.
than him hanging out in his office crunching numbers.
Well, that whole
It's,
world is so full of motivation.
It
Right, yeah,
there
yeah.
is well,
Yeah.
you would so this is a nice segue because a library patron and friend of the show, Jim Stovall.
Hey.
Yeah. He wrote in with his comments and his question. Here it is. It says, I've read a number of Dick Francis books over the years, including Risk. While I enjoy his characters and plot development, I'm not particularly drawn to the world of horse racing. I'm curious if we here in the room, think his stories would be as good if they were set in the world of baseball, politics, the military, etc. And my response to that is David Baldacci's books have political themes. So do Daniel Silva's. Tom
Mhm.
Clancy's books are about politics and the military. You can't really ask the question, but what if Tom Clancy's books were all about horse racing? Would they still be good?
Right.
It's like, well, they wouldn't be
It wouldn't be Tom Clancy
Tom
books.
Clancy books. And the thing about formulaic mysteries is there are 11 million mystery series out there, and every single one of them has a niche. Be that racing, the military, Siamese cats, bakeries, quilting, rescue dogs, regular dogs, beauty parlors, tea shops, World War II. And so since these are formula genre fiction, the plots are kind of interchangeable. So the people reading them are there for the universe.
Right.
I would agree with that, but I think his point is you reduce the audience size to some degree if it's a niche subject like horse racing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I will say, since he chose, instead of it being like the kind of horse racing we're used to in America, where they're just running around in a circle,
Mm-hmm. They do that. over
it
there,
being steeplechasing, that's one, something a little more interesting to us, and two, it's a little more complex as far as horse racing goes,
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
So I think the fact that it is steeplechasing, it even, Aaron and I were like, we want more steeplechasing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I think I get the reason for the question. I understand that,
Yeah.
but I understand your point about shrinking the audience due to a niche interest. But I think we've seen these things break through so much.
Well, Mr. Francis has about 45 books out
Right?
there. and
Yeah.
He died several years ago. So.
Yeah.
But
So
I think it depends on what the niche is that you're narrowing it down to.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Versus and this one is like,
well, and how
it's-
nichey you're getting, right? Like, does it?
Yes.
I think you can write in a niche that doesn't feel like it's for people in that niche.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You're not
Yes.
losing a lot of in-speak. You're not losing a
Yeah.
lot of words people have to look up.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, you're letting it still feel like a human environment populated by people that I recognize instead of like this impenetrable space that I'm not, like going to church in a different language. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, if like I wrote a book because I do the dog rescue and dog training on the side and stuff. If I like,
We've got those.
yeah, we do. We have those.
Yeah.
But if it's just was like my sole focus of the book, then I'm losing some of my audience.
Right.
Yeah.
But if we have an interesting like murder mystery while I'm training dogs or something like that, as long as we put something else of interest into it, they're not going to care so much that I train dogs
Mhm.
too. So
Well, on the other side of this now, and Dick Francis didn't have this, and this exists now where like you can write deep in a niche and do so much micro targeting
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
online that
Yes.
you can
That's
literally
true.
just design your own audience.
You can.
Well, it's
to a
just
degree
so-
that's weird.
yeah, it's more open. That also makes it harder to break through in literature now.
It does, but I think a lot
but-
of writers don't want that kind of breakthrough. They want
Yeah.
to live in that kind of cozy place where they know everyone gets them.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And
Very
I don't.
much so.
That's not me. That's
It's very highly curated.
Well, I mean,
It's
that's why
very
YouTube
highly
is so
curated.
popular and
Yeah.
stuff too. Is it's very niche.
Yeah.
Like I'm so way too over obsessed with narrow boating. I love watching some narrow boat
now
shows.
I know a YouTube hole I'm falling down. lately.
Yeah, and well, some people like the lawn mowing videos and stuff like that. And that is so niche, but
rug
at the
cleaning.
same time,
Oh,
Rug
the rug
cleaning
cleaning.
videos are
Mhm.
great. So
Mhm.
satisfying.
What do you think,
Um,
Matt?
I'm just still thinking I need something to cleanse my palate of this book. And I have two suggestions that I just wrote
Ooh,
down,
yay.
and I have to. So I finished this book, and I went to Remington Park after because I wanted to get a little closer.
to some form of horse racing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much
My
homework
senior
y'all did
prom
this-
was held at Remington Park.
Really.
And
You're,
there's-
you're on a podcast with librarians, of course. We both researched red herring and also
Steeplechase.
This is the most fun I've had in
steeplechasing
so
and
long.
Dude, I went to the Inland Revenue Service. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty
True,
deep
you
cut.
did.
No,
Yeah.
I went to the Remington, where they do the horse
Uh-huh.
betting. in the-
Pari-mutual betting.
Yeah, in the bot, there's a casino, and then the ground floor, and it's dark and dingy, and you see like all these losing tickets on the table.
It's grim.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
very grim, and I'm like, okay, that kind of reaffirms a little bit what I thought of in the book. Because there's a scene. I don't know if you guys remember who was the character that told him you need to take it easy on the horse in this race.
oh, Benny,
Benny.
When
Yeah.
Benny's like,
Yeah.
and
because he
that-
was going to lose like 50,000. No,
yeah,
it-
he
it
was
was a
trying to
lot.
make
He
him
was going
lose.
to lose, yeah.
And
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
kind of like a light bulb moment for being like, oh, okay, now I could see why, they think he's a pushover and they can get him to do this. But there was an essay by Hunter S. Thompson, and it's called The Kentucky Derby is Decadent and Depraved. And I think this book, we get a lot of the depraved.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it made me want to go, okay, I kind of I like some of that element, but I want the pure story. So Seabiscuit, have any of you read
I
Seabiscuit?
read
Yeah,
Seabiscuit.
everybody's read Seabiscuit. Yeah.
I
I have not read Seabiscuit.
Oh,
It's very
dear.
good.
Yeah,
Is it?
it's
Okay.
good.
It's nonfiction that reads like fiction,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is
Oh,
it's
love
so
that.
hard to do, but
Yeah,
it's so
very hard.
choice.
I love that.
And now I want to reread Seabiscuit, and just because of it, and it's like, I don't know.
It's there's a dark side. Well, there's a dark side to all professional athletics,
Yeah.
but there's an
Mhm.
extremely dark side too. You should look up the horse Shergar.
Oh.
Really?
Well, anything to do with racing, greyhound racing, horse
Oh
racing.
yeah, dog racing.
Yeah.
They
so-
have dog races in England too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a being a jockey, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's extremely dangerous,
you
and
know-
it wrecks your body.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in this book, Roe talked about like, yeah, I'm just riding this weekend. I'm like, do you work out? Do you train?
No,
'Cause
he
it
said
sounds-
something about that. He said like something about flabby muscle. Like,
right.
Yeah.
But he's
like,
just gonna roll up.
But
like,
I just roll up,
flick
and get
a
on a
cigarette,
horse,
and hop on the horse
after having been just tied up with a bunch of cheese for 14
Yeah,
solid
yeah,
days.
yeah.
What was with the thing with the making a abacus out of cheese in the van?
That's how he figured out all the math.
Yeah,
How-
he used
okay.
the abacus
He
for
made
the
an
math.
abacus
Yeah.
out
How
of
do you make an abacus?
We
'Cause
didn't even talk about the chabacus.
How-
I was
how-
like, the chabacus. I was like, yeah, because an abacus has like the rack and the beads that you slide back
Yeah.
and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and he was in the dark.
I found that very puzzling.
He couldn't see anything.
And it,
Do we have any other thoughts on Risk? I did keep score. The scoring is very, very cool and accurate. And I've given it a 5.
That's fair.
Because out of the 10 questions, 5 of them were yes.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
Just a 6.
All right.
I like that little pattern recognition, crazy mystery solve. I know where everyone bought everything in town, and so I
Mhm.
know there's something going on here.
Yeah.
Thing at the end. I just thought that was great.
That is-
I mean, it was a little implausible and weird, but it was fun.
I think it had some interesting characters
Mhm.
too, which
Yeah.
made it, yeah.
As I was reading it, I tried to put myself in the shoes of a dad in 1977, sitting down with the new Dick Francis book that he got for his birthday,
Mm-hmm.
loving Dick Francis, reading it and thinking, finally, one about accounting.
Finally,
I'm
where
an
the accountants
accountant.
matter. You know,
As somebody that does the audiobooks and things, there's a huge wave of library and librarian books right now, though. I mean,
believe it.
there is a lot of books about libraries and librarians, so we are having a movement right
We
now.
are having a moment.
So I
it's
mean,
only been
Yeah.
since the dawn of recorded history.
Yeah,
that we
so
have-
The next one is accountants.
so
That's
yeah,
right.
accountants are next.
Accountants.
He tried in the 70s and
Yeah.
That's what we're going now. Freelance actuarial tables. The adjuster.
She's already got her first book title. There we go.
That's right. So, bringing this back around, I call it Disability Representation Corner, since we
Okay.
talked about it in
Yeah.
the last one. There is no disability representation in Risk. However, in the Westing game, we meet in that book the character of Chris Theodorakis, who's of Greek. His parents are Greek. Age 15. He uses a wheelchair due to an unspecified degenerative muscle disease. And in this story, which was written in 1978, just a year after Risk came out, he is demonstrably loved, supported by his family. He's got a hobby. He bird watches. He struggles with being a teenager, but he's not infantilized in any way. And in fact, he is specifically invited to take part in the Westing game, whereas his parents are not. Also, Chris plays an integral part of solving the mystery because he is the bird watcher. He's in the high-rise apartment, Sunset Towers, using his binoculars. And so he is the one that sees smoke coming from the Westing house up on the hill. He is the one who sees the limping man enter the house. And once the game is on, Chris has eyes on the front door of the building and on the parking lot. So he knows who's coming and going. And so he's able to be woven into the mystery. He is because everybody's got a partner in the story. He's partnered up with a doctor who respectfully gets Chris the vague, unspecified treatment he needs. The doctor is initially a plastic surgeon, but it's sort of implied in the book that helping Chris perhaps made him realize he went into medicine for like shallow reasons, which is like, I don't know. It's a little, okay, dude. But we're talking about Chris, which is rad. And later in the book, Chris meets a girl when they are both chosen to go on a birdwatching tour of Central America. And eventually Chris becomes a university professor who, quote unquote, teaches ornithology, which is some top-notch disability representation in there. Ellen Raskin.
Yeah.
So good job on the Westing game. That is digital book 58350. And does anybody have anything else? Thank you so much, Nate,
You're welcome.
for
Thank you for having me.
bringing the book and the discussion. We did have a lot of fun with it.
Best
Oh, yeah.
time.
I knew that whenever I invited you on the show, and as we were reading this book, like our biggest question was like, what? Why did he pick this one?
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, well, we know each other well enough that this book can stand up to some gentle roasting.
Yeah, and I didn't pick it as like this is my favorite book ever. Like, it
Right.
definitely
Yeah.
deserves.
You're like, oh, I'm sorry, this is
It definitely
foundational.
does. It has a critique coming its way for sure.
It
Yeah,
really
yeah,
does.
yeah.
Join us next time when our guest will be DR MVP Elaine Boykin, and we will be talking about Jenny Cooper Has a Secret by Joy Fielding. Happy reading!